Hi everyone, welcome to my get ready with me. This is a get ready with me of my go-to, I want to say every day, but I don't do this every day. I don't actually do my makeup every day. Usually I've got no makeup on because I'm a cleaner, so there's no point in wearing makeup when you're cleaning. Yeah, I've wore a hat, so I haven't been punched in the head. I've just got a hat head. This is the makeup I do, just basic makeup really, like not going out but going outside when I can be bothered to do my makeup. So we're gonna jump straight in. I'm gonna take my glasses off to do my makeup, so if I'm squinting, that's why, because I'm short-sighted and I can't really see. So I'm gonna pop this on, get my hair out of my face. One thing I hate about watching makeup tutorials is when they don't get their hair out of their face. So cream. You have to hydrate your face before you put any makeup on, because otherwise your makeup goes so crusty and gross, and when it grabs into certain areas it's probably because you haven't hydrated. It's got the Skin Food Light. Personally, I would not get this one again. I'd get the normal one because I've got very dry skin and this is quite dry, if that makes sense. It dries quite quickly. I like dot like that and then put this on my face. I don't wash my face in the morning. All I do is splash like water on my face and rub my eyes. I personally think when you have dry skin, it's not good for your skin to be constantly washing your face. I barely even wash it in the night anymore. I kind of fall off with my skincare routine. I find it really difficult to be consistent with things. I was doing really well for ages and then kind of just fell off. I just didn't want the ass to do it anymore. For me personally, this is just too dry. The other one was perfect for me, but I got this one because it was cheaper, and then that serves me right for being a cheapskate. And then so I like I laugh a lot, so I have laugh lines. My eyes are just really dry. I've just got dry skin, so I put this caffeine eye cream on. Why am I so out of breath? Something about vlogging which makes me out of breath. Weird. Healthy cream. Always use, I learnt a tip, you should always use this finger. Show you that. Use this finger because it's the lightest finger and you should always be really gentle around your eyes because it's very thin skin around that area. I have thin skin, you can see on my veins. I can see my vein in my head. So embarrassing. And then I go in first with colour corrector. So I use this is so beat, this palette, sorry. It's only Revolution colour corrector palette. Colour corrector really upped my makeup game, I feel. I think it's orange to cancel out blue and then green to cancel out red. So I put this under my eyes like this. And this basically gives you a base to put your concealer over, and it helps cover your darker circles. You may need to use a different colour if you've got a different skin tone, but I think I'm neutral undertones, so this works a treat, especially this colour. That works the best for me. You don't really need to be too precise with this. Just chuck it on really. I really should have cleaned my makeup before I did this. I got this from Italy. We went in for my 21st birthday, so like 2 years ago. It might have expired. Has it expired? Where do you see if it's expired? Okay, well anyway, it might have expired, but we went to the actual Kiko Milano store in this huge mall. It was so fun. It was my actual birthday. Harry booked us to go to Amalfi in Italy. Best holiday of my life, the most fondest memories there, and I will always cherish that holiday. Every time I wear this it just reminds me of being in Italy and I love it so much. This is a primer, cream highlighter, so a 3-in-1 basically, but I only really put this here and I feel it really helps my highlighter pop, you know. Next, this is my favourite Holy Grail product. I get so many compliments when I wear this under my foundation. This is quite dark, but I do like it to be darker so I can warm it up. And then my concealers are really light, so to blend it all together, it looks nice. It looks a bit crazy when I first put it on. Now you'll be like, girl, that is way too dark for you. Halo Glow liquid filter. Wow, it was £13 when I bought it, and now it's, I think it's 15 quid. So I think it's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. And I put this all on the outer edges of my face and then blend it inwards. It smells really weird. What does it smell like? Oh, what does it smell like? It smells really weird though. Usually as well, I would blend this down to my neck, but I've got ongoing eczema here and it gets really aggravated and aggressive when I put makeup over it and then take the makeup off. So I just kind of leave it and then I'll blend it down here just on the outsides. I really need to clean my brushes, but I just use a little angled dense brush to blend this in. I always want to dab in, you never want to swipe, because that is what makes your makeup streaky. I'm not a makeup guru, by the way, I just do my makeup. I've done my makeup for a long time and I really enjoy doing it. I'm learning a lot. So like obviously right that looks great. Also, blend it into your ears, something a lot of people don't do. Go back in a sec and add some here. Oh my god, I was just swiping. Swiper, no swiping. You don't want to blend your foundation up into your eyes because, as I said, it's such a light area. You don't want to overload it with product. You just leave that for your corrector and concealer. Right, so now I'm gonna pop a bit on my neck. Doesn't, if your hands don't match your face, it's fine. No one really cares. Also, something else about me is I go really red, so I like to have foundation on to kind of cover that up. I feel a bit more confident in myself if I know I've got that shield, I guess. See, that looks so much nicer. But I have to miss out this big bit, which is annoying. So this I picked up on a whim. Is the, did you say NYX or NYX? I say NYX. NYX Bear With Me Blur foundation. It's so good. It's very, very, very thick. I picked it up as a everyday. I thought it'd be a very light coverage foundation, but it's very thick. Can you see how like thick? Oh, you can see it obviously around the edge. But yeah, really, really thick. And then I just put this on my finger and I kind of like just dab it on. And then honestly, like you don't need that much of this. Because we've also got that Halo Glow underneath, we don't need a lot of foundation. And then I do just use the same brush to blend that out. Obviously that's a lot lighter than the Halo Glow, but it does balance out my face a bit. I'm still darker than my hand, but it's alright. Also always make sure, I kind of do like a double chin to make sure I've blended it down to my neck so I don't have like a strap. Can you remember being in school and just having an absolute line underneath your chin because you haven't blended your makeup down? With that Dream Mousse matte foundation in shade orange. Now we move on to concealer. Concealer I have is just the Hourglass concealer in shade Birch. I love this concealer so much. It's really good. Honestly, you really don't need a lot. It's such high coverage without being cakey. I think if you put a lot on, it would be cakey. Once you've put your concealer on, you don't really want to touch that area because it will easily come off. I've always struggled with my under eyes. As I said, I've got very dry skin and my makeup will crease so much because I laugh so much. And it's the same like when I frown. I've got a really deep frown line here. So literally just put a dot here and a dot here, and same on the other eye. And then I do a little thing here, and then I do, like, you can see how veiny my eyes are on the top. Do a thing here. I see a lot of people do that big, you know, triangle sweep. I personally don't like to do that. I think it's too much product, and you'll see now when this blends, you know, a little goes a long way, so you just end up with too much product. And as I said, it's such thin skin, it's very heavy on the eye area, which you don't really want. So I use a fluffy angled brush to blend out my concealer. I know a lot of people use beauty blenders, but I do think brushes are the way to go when blending. I do use a beauty blender to blend everything in before I set it. That's just to make it seamless and take off any excess product. But if you use a beauty blender to blend out your concealer, it takes away the excess product, and you really want as much coverage as possible under your eyes. So using a fluffy brush is definitely the way to go. I do think it blends it out a lot better. Sometimes as well I might go in with more product if I don't think this is enough. And then put this brush down, and really you want to set that pretty quickly. Usually I use a loose powder, but I'm not really vibing with the one I've got. So I'm just using the Fit Me poreless, matte and poreless one. And then I've got this tiny little cute thing that goes on your finger. And you want to load this onto your sponge. But then before you put it on, you want to make sure you want to go back in, so that's all nice and blended, because obviously it'll crease. Then, like, literally so quickly, like that under eye needs to be set ASAP Rocky. Oh my god, there's a bug on my brush. What the fuck? Hello, sir, you alive? I really love doing makeup. It really does give you such confidence. I love it. It gives me so much confidence, and why would you not want to improve your confidence? So you just feel more ready to take on the day. So we've set the eyes. I'm starving. I'm going for Sunday lunch after this, which I can't wait for. So we can put a bit of blush on now. I really love e.l.f. Really love e.l.f. Love a lot of their products. I have a lot of their products, you'll notice. For blush, I use this e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush, and I get just this Real Techniques 206 brush. Look at me saying all the names, like, hello. And then I literally just dab this on, like so. I never used to wear blush, right, because I thought it looked silly. I thought it made you look like a clown, but I love it now. Really love it. I think seeing Tana Mojo's makeup, she looks stunning. I'm obsessed with her, and her blush is just gorgeous. It's like this really pale, I don't even know what colour it is, but it just looks gorgeous, I think. And seeing her have that on, I was like, I'm gonna copy you, girl. Say if I do add a bit too much, I'll go in with a beauty blender and just kind of like blend out a bit. Next, I will go in with a contour, which again is the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer. So you'll see this is quite grey. With contour, you want it to be a shadow. We need a darker, shadowy, more ashy tone to contour. I think this is meant to be a highlighter brush, but this is the Real Techniques 428 brush. And then I put this right in the hollows of my cheekbones. Blend that out with, I don't know what brush. I think this brush is just a Superdrug brush. This little angled brush to blend that out. And then using that same brush, I'll go in with Shock e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. I will put 1, 2, and usually I've made the mistake before of putting it everywhere and then blending it out, but it dries really quickly. So you want to really do it one section at a time. So blended all that out. Now we will put some powder on. Again, using the Fit Me. And I'll put not a lot on. I don't like a lot of powder, but it's just to set that. So something else I wanted to address. I have a deviated septum. So my septum is crooked inside, like the cartilage is crooked. You can see it when I look up. Can you see the difference in my nostrils? That is my biggest insecurity, and being in front of the camera like this is really difficult for me to look back on and watch this video, because I have to look at it and I have to look at myself in an unposed way and accept that this is the reality of what I look like. And a lot of people are like to me, what are you on about? Like, it's not even bad. And that's not what I want. Like, I know I have it. It's a fact that I have it. I was born with it. It's fine. And I can get a surgery, but it's like 5k, so maybe in like a few years. You'll always see I'll usually be this side, because this is my good side. And now we're gonna go in with this. This is so dusty, bro. Collection Sculpt and Highlight Contour Kit. This is the old Technique 407 brush. And we just pack that on quite a lot. And then what you want to do so it doesn't go patchy is like twist it on, you know, a clean surface. And then you're gonna wanna, I like pull my hair back like this. And then just dab it in. But always remember, as I said, blending up. There we go. Sometimes I'll do this as well, so I'll pinch the brush so it goes more like thin, and I'll do like one here. I don't know if that does anything, it kind of like snatches my eyebrows. And then with the excess I'll do some under my jaw and I'll just bring it down. My jaw's already quite slim, I won't really do too much here. Some highlighter. I love this. Again, this is Revolution. A lot of my products are just drugstore, to be honest. And I use this as an old glass brush. And I'll just get that on. And I'll go like up. Yeah, do my nose contour next, where I use this tiny little brush. Don't even know what that brush this is, I'm not gonna lie. And then this is a Real Techniques 305 fluffy brush. This Revolution, again. Old. Look at the state of that. Yeah, so I use this, and I use this colour here. This colour Ash. So it's quite grey, like I said, with the contour you want it to be.
So this bit cut me off because my storage ran out on my phone. This is picking back up from just after starting doing my nose contour, and then I'm just yapping about being a creative and being stifled by silly little things that come up. Sorry!
Obviously, I always trust in the universe that I will be taken care of and everything's happening for me as it should and for my highest good. But it's very frustrating when you try and do things and you run into so many problems. And then we do two little lines like this. It looks a bit crazy. And then we blend it out. Right, well, I've lost that brush somewhere, so we're just going to use this. And then, yeah, just blend this out. I'm quite rough with this, I'm not gonna lie. Blend it up into your eyebrows. Use this little brush with that same highlighter. And there we have it. Snatched nose. I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera because storage and they're just annoying to do. So just did my brows. I try and draw this one on a bit higher because, as I said earlier about my deviated septum and my lopsided face, this one is lower than this one, so I try and draw this one on a bit more and then this one a bit lower to try and balance it out. I don't think it really works, but for my eyes I've added just like a white base, and then we're going to go back in with the contour, and I think this is a MAC 224S brush. Just a cute little fluffy brush, it's a bit angled. Get loads of product on there, maybe blow it off. And in the crease, just literally sweep like this, like so. Really focusing on the outer edges. Kind of creating a V shape, so like this. That's my favourite look to do. It really complements almond eyes, which is what I have. And then I might just go in a few times with this shade, back and forth. Honestly, for just my everyday, I don't spend too much time on my eyes because I really spend a lot of time on my eyes when I do my nighttime going out makeup. Same again on this side. Also, my lip filler is so migrated, it's disgusting. But you can't have any lip filler or cosmetic surgery when you're pregnant, obviously, just in case there's a risk to the baby. They don't need to be identical, okay? His sister's not twins. So that's that for that. And then I get this tiny little brush, tiny little fluffy angled brush. And I go in back into that Revolution palette and I use this colour Smoke. It's like a brownie brown colour. I just put this as if it's eyeliner. But I'll only do this to my pupil, like I won't do it further than that. So that's that eye, and you can see it just really makes it. Same with the other eye. I'll also pinch it as well like that to make it more thin, like a smaller brush, because it is quite a thick. So we're almost done. I use this Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I'll come a bit closer for this. Obviously everyone knows how to do their mascara. Oh, mascara's done, and then I'll pop some lipstick on now. This is the lip combo that I use. It's a Bobbi Brown Luxe lip colour in Pink Nude 1. So this is a tip. I use a brown eyebrow pencil for my lip liner. I really lightly go over a bit. So I personally find all the brown lip liners are very orange, which is not the desired look that I'm looking for. So I use a brown eyebrow pencil because it's brown. And I use that as my outer lip liner colour. And then we'll just, after blending that out with your finger, just literally dab. Oop, like so. And then this lip gloss, Elf Shock Whisper Pink. I love this one. I'll just lightly dab that in the middle. And then a little trick, right? If you have mascara on your eyelids, let it dry and get a spoolie and just rub it off like so. And voila! It's gone! My hair is horrendous. Oh, hello. This is the finished look. Love it, go to, copy it if you want. It's pretty easy, mainly just full of drugstore products that are pretty cheap and I've had for ages. I don't really buy that much new makeup because I don't use it that often. But yeah, this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I'll end the vlog here. Mwah! Lots of love!